Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why customers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hello, it's Ed Gamble here from the Off Menu Podcast.
And James Acaster here, also from the Off Menu Podcast. Imagine a backyard tradition.
Okay.
A sun-drenched afternoon, a massive vat of bubbling oil, and a man named Big Dave wearing goggles.
It's a lot of effort for a bird.
Well, what if I told you that Boar's Head has brought that exact backyard tradition right to the deli counter?
Well, I'd say, James, you've finally lost it.
Boar's Head brings to the deli the taste of deep-fried turkey. It's all the seasoning and that golden fried glory of the frier's turkey breast, but without Big Dave having to set up a perimeter in your garden.
Oh, man, that sounds genuinely incredible.
The frier's turkey breast in stores now.
Discover the craftsmanship behind every bite at your local Boar's Head deli. Boar's Head, committed to craft since 1905.
Today on Very Delta, we talk about Lake Arrowhead Pride and when to wear a turban on a boat and when not to wear a turban on a boat. We also talk about picking the best fragrance while you're in the mountains. We have an extra special visit from my friend Natasha Estrada, a.k.a. Cholita. Join us right here at Very Delta.
Oh.
Mom!
Are you a lady like me? Introspective, beautiful. Oh, are you intellectual like me? Beguiled by a bargain? You like wild times? Oh, like me? Are you serving the community like me? Well, if you are, then you must be Very Delta. Hi there, I'm Delta Work, and this is Very Delta. This is a podcast where I look gorgeous, speak extemporaneously, invite fascinating people to sit on the couch and, just tell me things. Very Delta is for the girl who loves Cholula over Tapatio. Hello, my gorgeous listeners and spectators. Welcome back to another episode of Very Delta. I'm excited to be here today because we have a very special guest who's going to come in and sit with me and tell me a whole lot of things. But for now, I want to tell you about my weekend. I was in Lake Arrowhead for Pride, which is, I've never been to Lake Arrowhead. There's a lot of places in Southern California I've never been, even though I'm Southern California born and raised. And I haven't been to those places because largely, they are for people who like to get up off their ass and do things. And I don't like to get off my ass and do things. So, last year was my first time going to Malibu. I always think of Malibu like Malibu Barbie or a place where people want to be seen and drink wine on outside. I don't want to be outside. It's too hot. We've talked about this. I also don't like, what is Runyon Canyon? I hear that all the time. And I think that's people like exercising and, being complete and doing, I don't want to be complete. I'm already too much. So it's like, why would I want to, do extra? Like, why would I want to do more work? So whatever these canyons and hiking and all that stuff, that's just not for me. And I never thought that Lake Arrowhead was going to be for me until there was a check, which then in that case, the same reason why I went to Malibu. If you're going to run the bag, I'm going to show up. And that's what was happening. However, I would absolutely 100 zillion% return to Lake Arrowhead. It was super, super fun. It was a very small Pride. And when I say small, I'm comparing that to like Long Beach Pride, LA Pride, San Francisco, a bigger established Pride. This was actually the first time there was ever any drag performances in their town, I don't know, square or whatever they want to call it. It was like a cool stage. It was great. It was beautiful. People were super, super excited. They were super generous. But the cool part before all of this was the boat parade. So essentially, my friend Maddie has a boat, and he's the person who organizes this event with his partner. And we got to get on this boat. It was myself, Jules, who's been a guest on the Very That podcast, and our friend Jasmine Simone, who is an entertainer here in Southern California. The three of us were booked. We get in this boat. First of all, the drive up the mountain is like forever, but I wasn't driving. Jules was driving because I just, I wasn't going to do that. I mean, that would be, I'll just buy her lunch. You know what I mean? That's what I figured. Like, I'll buy you lunch, you drive. It seems even, which I would offer gas money. But, at this point, gas is so expensive. I felt like if I just cheated it by saying, oh, I'll get lunch, it wouldn't register in her mind, maybe that like, wait, that's not equal because lunch at Del Taco's under $10. But splitting gas would have been like 40, whatever. It'll all work out. In any event, I get there. We get to the top of this mountain. We get in this boat. There's no like rails or anything. So I'm already thinking like, I had to think, first of all, before I got there, like, what do you wear on a boat? Because it's not like I'm, like in Capri or something on a boat. Like I would visualize what I would wear. But I was in the mountains, which also too, I had to figure out what perfume do you wear in the mountains? Like, I didn't want to wear anything too tropical, even though it's warm, like tropical. I always think of the tropics. So I didn't want to do that. So I wanted something that was like, what kind of flowers would grow there? So I looked it up, found it. I ended up with a floral fragrance that was like woodsy and resin, like in the base. So that's what I wore. And then I decided that because I was going to be on this boat, I had a really good caftan and turban because I didn't want my hair blowing everywhere. And so I wore it, and it was floral in print, but it wasn't too tropical and it wasn't too deserty because I didn't want it to not fit in the pictures. Anyway, when all is said and done, we had a really, really great time. I would absolutely do this again. The boat was going everywhere, but it was so fun. And I learned a little bit about the homes there because so many people, so many famous rich people have homes in Lake Arrowhead. Like, I don't know if it's their summer home or it's their, a rental, how that works. But there was like I saw a home that Gwen Stefani previously owned, Reagan's home. Like, I mean, literally Maddie, because Maddie's a real estate agent, was like pointing out this is who owns this or who previously owned this. So it was really beautiful. And it made me think like, what would what would I want in a home like that? I mean, we can dream. I mean, we're all scratching our way to the top at this point. And, certainly owning one home feels like out of the question for a lot of us, but then having a summer home, but we can dream, we can think of the things that maybe we want to have and maybe we'll win the lottery. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it'll happen for some of us or all of us. But in this case, I mean, I have friends there now. I met people there and they're like, come stay in our home, which I'm probably not going to do because, whenever you stay in someone's home, like they invite you, it's like, aren't you nervous about like, what if I have to take a mad shit? Like what? Because I take mad shits. And so I want to be sure that like no one is, I have a friend who used to stay in Orange County during Christmas time. And she might come on this podcast sometime, but I don't mind spilling this story. She was staying with a couple that only had one bathroom in their home. She was doing seasonal work. One bathroom in their home, and that bathroom was through their bedroom. But at that night, they'd locked their bedroom door, and she really, really, really had to drop a deuce. And I'm not going to say any names, but it wouldn't be hard for you to figure out who it is. It's not Raja. It's not anybody that's guested on here. She had to go take a shit in their kitchen sink and then turn on the garbage disposal because she didn't want anyone to know. Yeah, I've never done that, but I've peed in a bottle, I guess. I mean, that's not the same. It's not like where food is prepared. Like no one was going to drink out of that bottle again. I mean, I don't think. But anyway, you have to think of these things. So when you go to Lake Arrowhead for Pride the next time and you figure out what caftan you're wearing, what perfume you're wearing, however it's going to be, you have to figure out in a space you've never been before, what is going to work best for you. And I knew going into it, I had to have that plan, because I'm crazy. And so I have to plan for everything. What if there's nothing to eat? What if there's nothing to drink? What if I have to take a mad shit? What if there's no garbage disposal? Like all of those things factor in. I'm glad I knew what perfume because I did get compliments off of my perfume, even though I was on the water. Always wear a caftan, I think, when you're in a boat because you really will feel like Eartha Kitt. I felt like Eartha Kitt. And you couldn't tell me I wasn't. So yeah, always do that. I think it's really, really important. Also, this is just a side note. I've never been a server in a restaurant ever, ever, ever. and I know it's difficult work, and I know it's a privilege to be able to eat in a restaurant and to make requests that always end up being demands. When the person cannot meet the request, then they just turn it around and say, "Oh, you were demanding." Um, if someone comes into your restaurant or your space and they use the term table over booth, um, that means it's a request for a table with four legs. It's not for, so, if you just come in and you say, "Hi, it's for three," then I think just seat the person wherever it's the easiest, right? But if I come in and I say, "Hi, I'd like to have a table for three," and I can see that there's tables and booths, it's a request for a table. And let me tell you, it's purely out of comfort. I'm clearly a person of size. There are other people of size that absolutely love to be crammed inside of a booth because they like the privacy over their comfort. I understand that they're having a private conversation. They don't want anyone involved in that conversation. I am not having those kinds of conversations at a public eating space. I'm there to eat. So I would like to not have to shimmy myself in and out of a booth. Other people might, then they'll request a booth. So a booth, it's kind of like when someone says, "Can I have a Kleenex?" And you don't really have a box of Kleenex. Those are facial tissues. So no one's really going to say, "Can I have a facial tissue?" They're going to say, "Can I have a Kleenex?" But I think in this case, if you see a person come in and they expressly ask for a type of seating situation that you have, stop showing them something else. Honestly. Honestly. And what goes on at Chili's that one person takes your order and then 500 other people bring everything that has to do with the order? I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm also trying to figure out how, when you go to Chili's and you have unlimited soup and salad, why it takes 45 minutes just to get a second bowl of soup. What is taking so long? What's happening in that kitchen? Does a new ticket have to be written up? Do they still write up tickets? I don't know. I don't know what's happening there at Chili's, but, we'll figure it out. Let's take a break. And we are back. We are back with my extra special guest. When we decided we were going to do this, I put together a sort of wish list of people that I wanted to have here. And even though obviously I do drag, and it would be easy to bring in a bunch of drag queens, there's so much more that I get to do and people that I get to meet that I get to hang out with and see other sides of the entertainment industry. So this person was somebody I really wanted to have. Right now, the world seems more powerful. The world seems like it needs more powerful female energy. There's been so much going on that we know about. And this guest is the definition for me of a strong woman, a strong mother, a strong role model, a strong entertainer. I'm excited to welcome the very sexy, very fun, very honest, very raw Natasha Estrada to our show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And
like this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. I'm honestly floored. Anytime I get a message from you, anytime I talk, anytime you acknowledge me.
Stop.
I am so just, it stops me in my tracks because I just admire you so much, and I love to follow you. Especially one of my favorite things that you do that is a regular in my household is the thing is, here's the thing. I say that every time I'm about to school my child or every time he pisses me off.
Oh my goodness.
The thing is,
here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Because you feel like you have to they really have to know I'm being serious right now.
Yeah.
I am being, the thing is, here's
the thing.
Yeah. So we've known each other for quite a long time. And it's interesting because what we do is essentially the same thing.
Yes.
We entertain.
Yeah, we do.
In a lot of different ways.
Absolutely.
And maybe different audiences, but sometimes the exact same audience.
That's
and that's
true.
What's interesting. I knew that I related to you very specifically, not just because, obviously I admired your body and your glamour and the fact that doesn't really turn off for you. That is because it's not something that you have to turn on. I feel like it's just you, is it not?
I think it's a big part of who I am, and I think, no pun intended, and I think that started at a very young age for me. I was very lucky in the sense that my mother was raised in an impossibly strict Mexican household, was never allowed to do anything, explore anything. So with me, she kind of went the total opposite way.
Right.
And I was allowed to play and exposed to all these icons like Bette Midler and Mae West and Mitzi Gaynor. And I loved just this whole, you know, expression of being completely empowered and putting it all out there. And so, yeah, I think it always has been a part of me. And I think when you're embody a certain size or personality, at some point you just have to stop fighting against it and embrace it and say, well, fuck it, I'm gonna work with it because this is what I got and I'm gonna use it. So yes.
When I first met you, it was in Hollywood. I was not in drag. I came to see your show. It was like you, Dita, I can't remember who was all there, but you were there, and you were doing a number that had two sombreros.
Yes.
And one of them, they were yellow sombreros.
Mm-hmm.
And you sometimes will give one to an audience member, if not both. I don't remember if you gave both, but I remember I was totally not in drag, and I was just like stunned. I was just staring like, I cannot believe this is happening, because I had only seen something like this, in TV, right? But I had never seen somebody just so raw. And you put that on me, that little hat. And I'm so sad that I don't have it anymore, but it stayed on my dashboard in every car for 4 cars.
Oh my God.
I would take it out. And then later we would start working together. We did a film together.
Yeah, we did Palm Springs Pride together.
We did Palm Springs Pride together.
Yeah.
That was a big show where was that at the Riviera?
It was.
It was.
Is that no more?
No, now it's called oh my gosh, it's like Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville.
Oh gosh.
Bye.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna invite us.
No more.
I don't think so.
But we also rode in a trolley together, didn't we?
We did.
Yes.
We did that.
Yeah, I have a photo of you, myself, and my son. He was like this big at that time.
And that's something that also, besides the fact that so much glamour, when I started following you on Instagram, I immediately was like, wait, she's a single mom and has this beautiful son that has so much love and so much space to just become whoever they are inside.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it's an artist or a welder or a writer. Like, you tell us about your son.
Oh gosh. He is now at an age where he just graduated from elementary school and wore like one of my dresses. He's constantly stealing my clothes from my closet, which is great. Somebody's got to inherit him, and I ain't gonna pop out anymore. That's for sure. One and done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this idea is like when you're a kid, you're supposed to be able to play and adventure and fantasize and figure out who you are and what you want to do. So why not? He loves makeup. He loves music. Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B are his favorites, and Doja Cat in that order. It's very particular.
Oh, he knows exactly.
Yeah. But it's a great learning experience for me also as a parent. And I think at the same time for him to see me, he's grown up backstage at drag shows, burlesque shows, variety shows. But also for him to understand, like, my identity goes beyond just being a mother. And I know that's, like, very taboo. A lot of people are like, oh, it's the best thing you can do. I don't agree with that. I don't think I think it's important for him, especially as a little boy growing up, too, to see that women have an existence beyond being, somebody's maid or caregiver or et cetera, et cetera. I am still this sexual being. I am still out there and doing striptease, and I walk around naked, and there's nothing shameful about that. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I couldn't possibly agree more. I mean, I was talking to my partner about my mom, and I said, my mom was a nurse her whole life, and she's retired out of nursing, and she loved what she did. But I always think back, I can remember, because I was raised with obviously a single parent, and I'm an only child. And so I remember some of my best times were when my mom would make Halloween costumes, and we didn't have 2 nickels to rub together, but she would always figure it out. She'd take curtains apart or whatever. And I said to my partner, you know what? I wonder if my mom really could have been a costume designer, and maybe that was taken away from her, that opportunity, because she was like, I'm going to go to nursing school, because at her time, it was like, this is what I have to do.
Right.
There is not really another option, but I am going to provide for you.
Yeah.
And so now, in a way, I feel like it wasn't wasted because I get to do those things and she gets to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And same with your son. Like there's that opportunity, but he now has this space. You both have this space to watch each other do this, and he can see that nobody's going to own him,
right?
Because no one owns you.
No, yeah, and it's just I think actually what's funny is the show you mentioned in Hollywood. I think I was performing with Raja.
Yes, that's what it was.
Raja had just
That's
won.
what it was.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
And that was my very first show back after having a kid.
Okay.
And it was, a big, it was a big moment for me as well, because when I got knocked up, everyone was like, well, there she goes off to the island of never again,
Right.
And I was like, wait a minute, I'm not done yet. This is and it did turn out to be a whole new chapter for me too.
Right.
I went on tour. I started touring. I think things really took off for me at that point. I slept with most of Australia after that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it really opened a lot of horizons for me.
And what was the difference between sleeping with most of Australia and like part of East LA?
There's something, I'll hold them both equally in special parts of my heart. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Special parts.
Special
Of
parts.
your heart.
Of my heart.
Special parts
My
of
yes.
heart. Just sitting here right now because I'm seeing your hair up, and we talked about like some of your inspirations and some of the people.
Oh, yes.
Do you ever do celebrity impersonation? Do people ever say to you, "We want to use you as Bette Midler"?
Oh my gosh, no! But I would love it.
I think you could kill that.
My mom looks so much like Bette Midler
Okay.
too. So Bette Midler was a huge, huge part of my upbringing. Baby Divine, remember the book that she did? Actually, when my grandfather passed away, who was like my father, basically spent a lot of time raising me because my mom was also a single mom working. And my grandfather was a Pachuco in Los Angeles in 1943, the Zoot Suit riots. And when he passed away, my mother and I went to go see Bette Midler in Vegas. The Showgirl Must Go On. And we sat in the second row. It was like a big deal. And Bette Midler came off the stage and held my hand.
Wow.
I still I have chills now. Just remember, it was like she knew in that moment. And all of my childhood, just like how many years, I can't tell you how many times I was dressing up in my mom's clothes. And I mean, we all did that, but making videos and singing to Bette Midler and Madonna and just all of these showgirl memories. And they just all came alive to fruition in that moment. So it was very special. Yeah.
Do you think, like when you think of all the stuff that you do in entertainment, because if you don't know, or if people don't know, you don't just do strip. That's part of what you do. You also are a singer.
I am.
An actor.
Yep.
You produce.
Comedy.
You do comedy. You do all of these things. Which of those things, it's I hate to even ask the question, like, which is the easiest? But which one is like, could you just do at the drop of a hat?
Oh, I think it's kind of like the quintessential showgirl moment is a little bit of everything, like comedy, singing, and dancing. I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to have a one-woman show, come out like Carol Burnett or Bette Midler show or Mitzi Gaynor show, like these shows where they would just come out and do everything and have a costume change and come back out and play all these characters. I think that's such a part of who I am, and in a way, it's been hard to really narrow down that one thing because I'm constantly, and I think a lot of artists feel that way. It's like if you're artistic, you like to do a bunch of different things.
You do.
Yeah.
And that's, when I think about all of the things that you do and the things that I do, it's interesting because when we take all of it off, people may see us one way, and then when it's on, they see us another way. You are seen in so many different ways. Like, I'm just seeing in drag and out of drag. But people see you in a burlesque format. Then when you're acting. I want to get into a little bit of that because of the faces that people see when we come back from break. So let's take a quick break.
Okay.
And we're back with Natasha Estrada, who I and many people affectionately have known at a time as La Cholita.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. And I can always tell who's known me
Mm-hmm.
when I hear that. Sometimes I'm just in the middle of the street somewhere in another country
Right.
and I'll hear Cholita.
Right.
It's still, yeah.
And that's the thing, is like what I was talking about. Like when I'm in drag or I'm out of drag, I don't feel like I particularly look like the same person. And so some people will jokingly say, "Oh, you play a white woman on television." But for the both of us, it's something sort of specific. And that is that when you are acting, because I've seen you post like, "Oh, I was just in this commercial," or something. To the average untrained eye, and certainly somebody who's not from Southern California, they may see Mexican American, Hispanic, Chicano people in a certain way, and they think like, "Oh, everybody, like if you don't look a certain way, you couldn't possibly be that."
True.
So
yeah.
for some people, they're like, "Oh, well, we do have this ability, not that we want it to be an ability, but it's just a thing where people are like, oh, I thought you were just quote unquote white. I
Yeah.
thought that's what you were." And it's not an offensive thing. It's just because they don't have that trained eye, because, any Mexican lady walking down the street would look at you and go, "I know who she is. I can tell." Or they would look at me and go, "I can tell." But if you're mixed in an area where people aren't well versed in it, does that happen to you?
Oh, yeah, all
day
the time.
That's how you get cast for things.
Exactly. And that was also such a big inspiration for why my very first stage name was La Cholita, was because I had grown up, even within my own household, kind of being the odd woman out. And I think for like somebody like my grandfather, who was kicked out of school at a time in Los Angeles where it was criminal to be somebody that wasn't white. It was very segregated and different. With me, he saw the future. Here I am, and I was smart, but he would always say, like, "You're Mexican. Never let anybody say that you're white." And I remember one time at school, when you have to bubble in those tests, and it says what you are, and I didn't know what to fill in. My teacher said, "Oh, you're Caucasian, you're white." So I did that, and I came home and I told him, and he was just like livid, marched down to the school and said, like, "My granddaughter's not white." I mean, now we know it's a very different landscape, right? And so there's a difference between ethnicity and race, and it's different now. But at that time, there was this very sense of, growing up, I was always told, "You're not white. You're not white. Don't ever say that. Don't forget who you are and where you came from." And it was really important. And it was important for me, too. So what I enjoyed about coming out, and as you said, all of my acts were love letters to my culture and traditions and my upbringing. I mean, I'm wearing all of my grandmother's jewelry right now. So it was really important to me to be able to showcase that in my entertainment, in my art. I did a mariachi, but like if Mae West was a mariachi, very like Maria Felix, this like over the top. I did the act with the little sombreros, and my grandfather came to see me. He came all the way out to Vegas to see me win Miss Viva Las Vegas, which was a huge crowning moment. I became the first Latina ever in history to win that. And once that happened, I started traveling all over the world, and people would hear the name La Cholita, and whenever I came out, it was never what they expected.
Absolutely.
Ever. But that was the idea, is to get the conversation started, to open the people's minds into, it's not a one size fits all the way we look. And even so within our own community of how there's different generations. Some of us were born speaking Spanish, some of us weren't. And there's reasons for that, and for instance, with my grandfather, it was you were kicked out of school for speaking Spanish. So that he didn't teach it to his kids. He didn't want it to be a detriment to them in their pursuing higher education. So now I'm having to learn it as an adult, outside of just slang.
I find that too. And there's also this sort of like, there's this like, in a way, like it's like a competition with people in our community that are like, "You're not really that proud because you don't speak Spanish, or you don't speak enough Spanish, or why are you wearing, like for me, why are you wearing blonde wigs? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing?" And it becomes this thing where you're not proud enough. And like you said, there's reasons for things. And there is, I always go back to that like line in Selena where the dad is like, we're here.
Yeah.
And we look over there and we're too much this for them, but we're not enough this for over here, vice versa. And it's like, it really is a thing. I don't know that everyone knows that it is a real thing. There is a prejudice that exists. And there's not really anything you can do about it because, yes, I would love to speak 100% the best Spanish ever. I would love to do that. But the fact that I wasn't raised doing that, I don't know why that's like something you have to make an apology for, or why you have to sort of say, no, it's okay. Like, please excuse me or something.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah. I did a show with George Lopez, a dating show, very scandalous dating show many years ago. And I remember all of the jokes. I was writing a lot of jokes. And even in the mornings, the producers would come to me and say like, oh, can you give us some ideas so we can have, and they were all very Chicano-centric or kind of, which I thought was great. And I had always looked up to him and thought he was this great sort of iconic comedian. And then I remember going to the after party and I was excited to see him outside of the show situation because they keep us all very in your own quarters.
Sure. And
all he did was come up to me and be like, "You're not Mexican, you're white."
Oh, wow.
And I was just like,
fuck you, dude.
Fuck you, dude. Can we say fuck you?
Yeah, we can. Okay. Fuck you, dude. You're the fucking gatekeeping. That is so late.
But that's the kind of ideas, like, when you're, and even now, so like you're right, like doing all of these, doing television and doing, right now I wrote a show that's based on my life about being a third generation Chicana. Like third generation Mexican American is such a different experience than being a first generation, which it's great that we have shows like Gentified and Vida and all of these tremendous shows, which I love. But it's important to also share the different nuances between, because there's so many of us too that make up not only California but America.
Right.
And it is a different experience trying to navigate between those worlds. And it absolutely doesn't mean that you don't have pride for who you are and where you came from. Everything I do till the day I die is, La Raza, and I'm very proud of that aspect of my background.
I feel like you said, that interaction where he said that to you, and I'm sure when confronted with that, someone in that position would say, "Oh, I was joking," or "I was this," or "I was that." But those words came out, and I find for myself in drag, a lot of times there'll be these like tours that happen where it's like the catwalk or whatever, and it's like fashion queens or it's this or that. Anytime there's ever been anything that has to do with Latinos from Drag Race, I'm never, ever remotely included.
You see, and it's because you don't fit this, know. On the flip side of that, I was just having a conversation with one of my tour mates too about being a fuller figured gal in any type of entertainment platform. And that being said, it's the same thing. It's like there's the one token fat girl and you can't have two. I just met this other singer performer. She's amazing, Coco Lamar, who I love. And we're never booked on the same show ever.
Right.
And why? Because we're both voluptuous, talented, incredible performers, but they won't have two large girls on one bill. But I can't tell you how many bills I've been on where there's 10 non-talented.
Right. Eight girls in Lake Avenue.
Right. Yeah. Or maybe they have head to toe Swarovski crystal and that's enough or whatever it is. But it's like there are these things, these types, these molds that you still have to fit in. And it doesn't matter how talented you are or how much you've branded yourself in a certain way. It's really becomes about this.
The entertainment portion of or the Latino portion of our entertainment community is itself gatekeeping and is itself saying there really aren't that many faces to us. We are just this. We are just this way. This is all people want to see. And it's so weird. It's so unfair. I've even I'm a big fan of like country music from the 90s. And I will have other people that are like, "Oh, that's so weird that you like that." I'm like, "Really? Is it weird?" Because first of all, I like all music just like you.
Yes.
We're inspired by all of it. But there's people that think, well, you wouldn't be the type to listen to that. Well, what's the type? I'm trying to understand what the type is.
That's like my favorite is also when somebody says, especially men dating, which I don't think I'll be doing that anymore. You don't look like someone's mom. It's like,
Uh-huh.
okay,
Okay.
is that a compliment? Is that a diss? Like
Right.
Beyonce is somebody's mom. J-Lo's somebody. Are you saying I don't look like Beyonce or J? Like, what the
Right.
fuck is somebody's mom supposed to look like
Right.
in this day and age? I don't know.
Yeah.
You can't really go off that,
Yeah. This this episode I'm sure is going to come out. I mean, it comes out in like a week or so, but I mean, it's so difficult to just encapsulate someone's opinion about everything that's been transpiring in the past week or a couple of weeks, especially when I'm not a woman. I can dress it, but it gets to come off, and nobody ever thought I was a woman, so I don't know that experience, and I can't speak to that experience. I'm not a parent. I'm not a mom. I'm not somebody who looks specifically like you, where when you do what you do and you have power over that, there are other people that think that you are their property because, you're around me. So you're putting it out there. So I want to touch and I want to feel. But this, we said earlier, no one's going to take your power, but their power is being taken right now in droves. And they say, when somebody comes for this and you don't say something, they're going to come for you too. And there's so many men not speaking up right now about what is happening to women, the women that we revere so much, or for me, try to emulate so much. It's like, if we don't speak up, but you're in a position, every part of you is being attacked right now.
Yeah.
Every bit of you is being attacked. How do you even, as a parent, as a woman, how do you see light? I'm trying to understand.
I am also trying to understand. I think as a parent, I've been 1,000% transparent with my kid about everything. I don't sugarcoat anything. I don't, soften the blow, so to speak. It's fucking harsh, and I can't soften that in any way. There's really no way. It is urgent. It is absolutely terrifying. But also, gosh, I don't even know how to be articulate in this moment.
I can't either. And I feel ignorant asking the question, because it's like saying, oh, just tell me in a couple of minutes how we're going to fix the world. Like, you can't. There is no way.
There is no way, unless everybody, and it really does take that. It's more than just a post to social media. It's more than just lip service. It's action, and taking that action. I mean, there is a lot of fear in everybody, and now is the time to stand up. And you're absolutely right. It's like all these men who are, I had a guy who's like always hitting me up for, photos and like, let me pay you for this and go out with me, who's married with kids and has his own life, and no shame in the game. But it's like, now is the time to put your money, to put those actions where your mouth is, and to speak up against, not speak up, but to take action against what's happening. That didn't come out right.
No, it does. It does.
It's more than social media. It's more than any kind of post. It is really a time to take action, and that's all that can be said. I find that it's really about, I don't know.
Well, you know what I think?
My words are failing me.
No, they're not. They're not failing, because we're all trying to figure it out together, because we thought we were going to be, it's 2022. We thought we were going to be in flying cars, and people that were like, half monster and half human were going to be ruling the world with people who looked like Marilyn Monroe, and nobody was going to be worried about any of that. And we're nowhere near that. We're so far back.
And we're going further back. And
every day.
Yeah, it's wild. When I tell my kid, there was a time when women couldn't open a bank account without a man. And that wasn't that long ago. Or being able to vote or do anything really, or be considered anything other than property. And to him, it's just like, we went to drag reading at the library, and the book that was read was based on a true story about a girl who decided to wear trousers for the first time because women weren't allowed to wear pants, and that was just so beyond his scope. Like, he just thought that was the most insane thing ever, and was like, "There's no way is that true?" And I was like, "It absolutely is."
Even in his few years, he's already living in a time when books, there's going to be a limit on which books he can read.
Yeah.
And his few 10, 12 years, what I mean? Like, come on.
Just in that time. And learning about such important history and the way that that's influenced things. I think it's really now is really just a pivotal moment for us to either take the information that we have and that we've been so lucky and fortunate to have an instrument and a tool like the internet where we can fast track this information to one another and communicate with one another in a way that we never were able to before. But now it's really about organizing, about strategizing. Yes, there's a lot of fear. Yes, we are scared. It's stressful. But it's more important than ever now to rise up and do something. There is more of us than them.
There is.
There is more of us than them.
Oh my gosh, let's take a break.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's take a break.
I can't even breathe. And I'm not even talking.
Get a jump on next summer with Vrbo's early booking deals. Don't wait to claim your dream summer spot, whether that includes a good porch swing or a poolside lounger. When you book early, you get the best places at the best prices. But back to poolside loungers. With Vrbo, you don't have to reserve any loungers. They're all yours. In fact, the whole private home is yours. Book with early booking deals, and you can lounge around all summer long however you please. Book with Vrbo.
And we're back. We're back with Natasha Estrada, Cholita. We're just talking about all of it. And the last segment, it's like you can't even really, we can't put into words succinctly how we feel about this.
I partly want to just scream and make primal animal noises, but then also say something that's really powerful. And it's hard to find that balance between the two because I don't know what the immediate answer is right now in this moment. But I know something's got to fucking happen. Yeah. All those East LA cholas, time to rise up.
I mean, I've said it a million times, and I always, whenever I say something, I go, I know my phone's listening to this, but I really do sometimes feel like that.
Absolutely.
But I feel like anytime I want to say something negative against, the government or the police department or whatever, because I do think it's our job to question authority at all costs. I do think that people that we elect into office are people that are our paid employees.
Yep.
I do think all of that is true. At the same time, it does surprise me that there's nobody insane and crazy in our camp that hasn't done something more that people crazy and insane in their camp have done. Do you know what I mean? Like, why is somebody not just shutting off all of their banking? Or why is somebody not just saying, like, you know what I mean? We're going to make it uncomfortable for you now.
Yeah.
Aren't we smarter in our camp than their camp?
Absolutely. There was this really great documentary I watched that I don't remember the name of. I'm sorry. But it was actually about animal testing. And long story short, it was about this kid who did exactly that. He figured out the way to actually get to the people who were testing on animals was to find out who was funding it and cut off the funding. He started putting so much pressure not on the companies who were doing it, but on the banks who were sourcing the income. And it was like cutting it off at the source.
Right.
And you're absolutely right. It's time to get smarter. And I understand that you have this innate reaction to things. We all do. But yeah, it's time to get fucking smart. And we've all had to be resourceful.
Right.
Right. Like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, we're not advocating, hurting people physically, but make things uncomfortable for them.
Yeah, make them uncomfortable. How many times have you been uncomfortable being anywhere? Like, no enjoyable meals, anything.
The only thing that makes them uncomfortable is their money.
Their money. So let's figure out.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
Yeah. So anyway, this is the portion of the show where we answer letters. We called it the Annals of the Inbox, but of course somebody left an N off one time, and so we just called it the anal portion.
I thought this was going to be about anal when I heard that.
It's going to be.
Okay, great.
We will, whatever comes out of these letters, we'll turn it into that.
I've always wanted, this has been one of my secret fantasies ever since I was a child, was like responding to like the dear editor, Dear Anne.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Dear Delta.
Dear Delta.
Yeah, that's what we're going to answer.
Okay, that's what we're going to answer.
So, I recently got a new computer, which
congratulations.
all the letters come to me, but I keep them here in my drawer, so I have to print them out.
I was going to say, your computer is that tiny?
A letter.
Okay.
So let's see here.
I love a good old-fashioned letter.
You know what? I really should have my letter opener, but I haven't been to Things Remembered in the mall for a long time.
I have this beautiful...
Did you ever go to Things Remembered?
I absolutely did. Yes. I have this beautiful card from you on my refrigerator.
Oh,
I
you
love
do?
it. Yes, I love it. It's like right
Aw.
in the middle, prime real estate.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so here's the first letters from
Okay.
Jay.
Okay.
Hi, Delta and Natasha. Who
Oh.
are some of your favorite music divas of yesteryears, and what are the eras of their music that really spoke to you? Do you wish that those music stylings would return, or do you enjoy knowing these artists and eras are stamped in time for us to revisit? Much love, Jay.
Wow, what an eloquent
Yeah, that's a good letter. That's a good letter.
question.
And I know you, I mean, because you are a musician,
Oh, yeah.
you know, you love music. I mean,
I
what
love
inspires
music.
you as far as music goes?
You know, I have to say one of my favorite vocalists of all time is Linda Ronstadt.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And the reason being was her versatility.
Mhm.
I could not believe that every time I would listen to her voice, and she just fucking nailed it.
Everything.
Every single thing. I would watch these videos of her as a kid. You know, even when she's saying Blue Bayou,
Mm-hmm.
that's one of my favorite karaoke tracks.
Yeah.
And then when she did the album, The Songs of My Father, oh my
Canciones and
yeah,
Más
that's
Canciones.
so good.
Both albums.
And watching the live shows, have you ever seen
Yes.
this? So beautiful, the set design,
Stunning.
her rock and roll. I think just everything she's done and watching a woman like that evolve, I think is just such a joy and such an honor to see that. It's so inspiring and just incredible. So she's way up there for me.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. I think the same thing. I love Linda Ronstadt. You know, I love, and I do think of you when you are performing, you know, live singing. I think of the power of like Etta James,
Oh,
right?
love
That like
Etta.
it's or Patsy Cline. You know, one of my favorite
Uh-huh.
Patsy Cline songs is "Faded Love."
Oh.
And when you listen to the very end, there's just this like breath that she takes, and I
Mhm.
feel like that in any kind of music, it's especially live music. A lot of people will hear somebody live and they'll go, "Oh, I like them better on the album." It's not the same when it's like, and you know what? I hope it's not the same.
Yeah.
Because it's not supposed to be the same. Because every time you sing something, you feel something different.
Every time.
Right?
Yeah. I think that's the difference too, is my favorite artists, they're not always even necessarily the best vocalists, but
Mhm.
that's absolutely it, is every time it's going to be different. The audience is different, and that's what you're feeding off of, or what's fucking going on in the world or your life. The song is the same words and the same notes, but it takes on new meaning,
Right.
you know, as it relates to you and your experience in that moment. And I
Right.
think artists that have the ability to make the same song sound fucking different and new, and you're noticing all these little nuances and changes and breaths and expressions that you never did before,
Right.
that's something that is, wow, that's incredible.
When you travel and you do like, say you're doing like you're going to be singing with the band,
Yeah.
or you're going to be you're going to be stripping.
Singing and stripping.
Singing and stripping. Or you're going to be like, you know, doing a comedy gig.
Yeah.
Where of those places do you find that potential lovers approach you more often than other?
Definitely not doing comedy. I'll
Okay.
say that.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest turnoff. My comedy is pretty. It's pretty crass and raunchy, and also very direct.
Mhm.
And I think that that's too much for potential for in that setting. Men are generally like, oh shit. Of course, naturally, I think it mostly comes from, and maybe even stripping is too scary for them. I think singing is where I get the most.
Right. I was thinking
The
that.
most gentleman callers, if you
Uh-huh.
can call them that. But I don't date or really don't fuck people from my shows, just generally because it never turns out well. Because you never live up to this idea. It's
Absolutely.
hard to imagine that you're an actual person outside of that. Or it is the thing that like, I got her, I captured her, and now
Sure.
you're done doing that, like showing off your tits. It's like, no, this is how you met me. I'm gonna be
Right.
showing these things. Are you kidding? I'm showing these things off till I'm 110,
Right.
even in my grave. Bury me just in pasties.
Bury me in pasties.
Yeah, actually, I don't want to be buried. That's not like economically great. cremate me, but I want to
Yeah.
be in pasties and a little rhinestone merkin.
I have a friend that won one of the all-stars of Drag Race, Kylie Sonique Love.
Uh-huh.
And she once, when you were talking about, you met me this way, she always has these little bits of wisdom. And, for all intents and purposes, people always think somebody who's blonde and sexy, as you know,
Yeah.
yourself, blonde and
I was
sexy.
blonde once.
You were. People will generally think, well, there's not much more to you because there's so much in that. How could you be wise? So people used to do that to Sonique all the time.
Yeah.
And I remember, but she always has these bits of wisdom. One of them was always, if I stay ready, I don't have to get ready. And the
That's
one
a
that
great one.
kind of goes with what you said was, she said, honey, you're always going to lose them where you found them.
Ah!
And I said, she said, you're going to lose them.
Absolutely.
Kylie Sonique Love says, you're going to lose them where you found them. And my mind was blown because I thought, that is so wise.
It is so wise.
It is so wise. But so when, I always wonder, obviously people always say, oh, confidence is the sexiest thing. Confidence is so sexy.
It is confident, but not everybody has the confidence to match it.
Right.
Yes. And also, just real quick, I don't know how much time we have,
No,
but that totally reminds me,
you have
I
all the
just
time.
got Tinder swindlered.
Okay, what happened?
Tinder swindler. You know that story, right?
Not the whole thing.
Okay, well, it all happened because this person thought that I presented myself a certain way on social media. And I think this person thought, oh, well, that's going to be an easy lay. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to bang this chick and then I'm going to get out. So I was thinking I had met Prince Charming at the way we were messaging and we had gone out and I moved very slowly. And it turned out that everything they had created a whole fake life and fake persona just because they thought. So then their lies started getting more extravagant.
Oh my God.
And I still hadn't hooked up with them. Little did they know I haven't had sex in 2 years.
Oh my God.
So it wasn't as easy as they thought.
Right.
My little tidbit of wisdom is not as succinct, but that is a good one. So I left him where I found him, and that was back on Tinder.
Yeah.
Good luck.
How scary, though.
It is terrifying.
Isn't there sometimes something like a good match? Have you had good matches there or somewhere else? Like do friends hook you up or?
No. I have hooked up so many people that are still married to this day. Every time my friends hook me up with somebody, I'm like, have we fucking met?
Right.
How? What?
Right.
How did this happen?
Well, you are so wise, and because you are so traveled, and because you have seen all these people, I don't, by no means do I think, I think a lot of people think, oh, well, if you travel a lot, you must sleep around a lot, and you must.
Which I do.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with that, but people don't realize that the glamorous life that the glamorous life that you present on stage, there are so many factors that go into putting together a strip look, and so much physical work that is happening.
Mm-hmm.
You don't always feel as glamorous when you're done for the night. So it's not like you're like, let me just throw on a little something and I feel just as fresh as I did when I got here.
Come up to my boudoir.
Right, it
which
doesn't
is
always
really
work
a
that way.
bathroom stall in the back.
Right.
But, yeah.
I'm going back to Motel 6 and I'm going to maybe eat a piece of pizza before I get on an airplane. Like,
Exactly.
that's the glamour.
That is the glamour.
Yeah.
I had a friend that used to call it showbo. It was like a showbiz hobo. It's like that
Oh,
life.
I see it. I see that.
When you're in your car traveling and you get to the venue and it's like there's no bathroom and you're using wet wipes it's not always as glamorous.
Yeah,
as
I
it
met
seems.
somebody that was like, oh, so where do you keep all your jewelry? And I'm like, baby, it goes in a Ziploc bag. Like,
Yeah.
it's not real diamonds. You get this, right? Like, it's the purposes that you're trying to pack as small as you can.
to make a big
Yeah.
impact, but that's
I don't
not-
lay out my jewelry, and I don't
Yeah.
think, I mean, we'd like to say that happens. It doesn't always happen. Would you come back here again sometime?
Oh my God, anytime.
Because we didn't get nasty. Like,
I know, we really didn't.
we didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I feel is so much my persona, but that's okay.
It's part of it. It is.
Part of it. It's fun to talk about.
It is, well, because you're honest, and that's the thing is like I feel like you provide for people in this world the image that you can be sexy, you can be sensuous, you can be funny, you can be raunchy, you can be a mom, you can be all of these things in one. You don't have to just pick somebody. If you're just yourself authentically, you're going to be all those things.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah, but so much of my time, I think it's only until recently that I started to embrace like who I am and then think that was enough. You know, this idea of, I think so much of the early days of my burlesquing career, I was always trying to be that glamorous, always felt like I had to be something. And then I was like, fuck it. It's not always like that.
Right.
You know?
It's not.
It's not.
It's not always like
and
that.
there is only, especially in the burlesque world, it's like there is only one Dita. I'm not going to be that. And that's not so why am I trying to emulate
Well, that's
that
the
or
beauty
cop-
of the Dita shows that you do, is that I think what makes Dita strong at what she does is she's like, I'm only going to surround myself by the best. Because, you know, like any coach always wants to be, you got to be a good team player to be a coach. And you also, anybody that produces a show wants to only surround themselves with the people that they think are better than them.
Yeah.
You want to surround yourself with that. And that's what makes that show successful and you successful. By the way, if you ever want to send letters in, you know, normally we read lots of letters, but sometimes we just start talking. And so, you know, Jay, this was your fault for sending in this letter. You can
But what a beautiful, and wow, that
Yeah.
that question was like above and beyond.
Yeah, Jay really put their thought into that.
Yeah.
Send me a message at readmedelta@gmail.com. Thank you for being our guest. By the way, like,
Oh my God, thank you for having me. This was so nice.
just going back to what you said, that like, you know, you can be all of these different things and you don't know. I hope you know that when people see you, they see you as all of those things and have like they see that they can be all of those things through you. And it has nothing to do with what you look like per se. It's just how much love you have for people. They see it, they know it.
I think that is really beautiful, and thank you. And I do hope that people, that's always the biggest compliment is anytime you perform, and you probably feel this way, is if somebody says that you've inspired me, I want to do this, or I want to embrace more of this in my life, or I want to, seeing this made me want to pursue this or unleash this or lean into that more. And I think that is the best part of performing. Not only that you're really living in the true expression of yourself and your soul and what makes you happy, but that the impact. And I think so many of us, especially as artists, have grown up feeling, you know, people get down on you or made fun of or whatever growing up because you're still trying to figure it out, and you know that you're different and you know that you like things that are different. And when you connect with people and what you do resonates with somebody and it has an impact on people, then you realize, holy shit, what I'm doing matters. And it doesn't matter if it's one person here or there or a whole audience standing ovation. In some way, shape, or form, you are touching people, and that's important.
Yeah, it's true. It's true that, I mean, you really do. Especially now, we need women like you. We need all women, but we need women like you, queer people like myself. Absolutely. This is what we live for. This is how we get by. This is truly, I mean, I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. I love you so much. I don't want to.
I love you too.
I don't want to do all that because I love you so much.
I love you too. And you're such a source of inspiration around my household. I have all of these little tributes to you everywhere.
Stop.
I do. I'm going to send you a photo.
You
if
just
don't
probably have
believe
like a
me.
stuffed animal that makes fart noises. Anyway, where can people find you on social media? Where can they find you?
Really, Instagram is the only thing I stay consistent with. And that is at Natasha _Estrada.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah, that's it. That's
where
me.
I do it too.
Yeah,
All
you
of
can
it.
slide into those DMs. No, you can. I know people
But do you
don't
really?
like-
I mean, but what if they want pictures? The guys.
Well, they're if they send
Not
me
that way.
no. Maybe,
Right.
I mean,
It's been 2 years. Come on. It's been 2 years.
look, and I'm not putting anything off the table. I don't like to say say no to anything
Right.
before I've seen the full offer. So,
Right.
you know.
Well, thank you all so much for listening to Very Delta, and a special hello to everyone watching the show on the Mom Podcast's YouTube channel. Very Delta comes out every Monday right here on the Very That podcast feed and on YouTube. If you're new here, I'd love for you to subscribe to make sure that you do not miss an episode. And also, again, if you want to send me a question, you can send me a question to readmedelta@gmail.com. You can follow me at Delta Work on Instagram. And we'll see you next week right here, where we keep things very Delta. To listen to Very Delta one day early and ad-free, sign up for Mom Plus at mompodcasts.plus. Very Delta is produced by Moguls of Media, aka Mom, hosted by Delta Work and produced by Maxwell Esposito. Engineered by Margot Padilla, and editing and sound design by Will Pitts. Executive produced by Willem Belli, Alaska Thunderfuck, Big Dipper, and Joe Cilio.